Good morning, students. I welcome you all once again to our online class. Dear students, from last few days, we are dealing with classification and description of speech sounds. We are studying consonant sounds on the basis of three term labels. Whether the sound is voiced or voiceless, place of articulation, and manner of articulation. VPM. So on the basis of these three steps, we are studying consonant sounds. You very well know what is meant by consonants. As you know, they are produced with obstruction to the air stream in the oral passage. In this lecture, I would like to talk on only consonant sounds, which are in numbers 24. We will study on the basis of three term labels. Out of 24, 6 consonant sounds are considered as known as plosives. As I have mentioned in the next slide, switch over to the next slide. That is three term labels, that is V, whether the given sound is voiced or voiceless. Voiced means if the vocal cords are vibrated, consider if there is a considerable vibration, then it is voiced. If there is not a considerable vibration, it is called as voiceless. Then place of articulation means where the sound is produced in the mouth cavity or the nasal cavity, whatever it may be. And then manner of articulation, in which manner, in which way the outgoing air is released. So it is called three terms labels. Switch over to the next slide. Yeah. Out of 24, 6 consonant sounds are called as stop consonant sounds or plosives. On the basis of manner of articulation, the sounds are divided into different groups. And one of them, or the first group, is called as plosive consonant sounds or stop consonant sounds. What is meant by plosives? Plosives are the sounds produced with the explosion. They are also called as stop consonants because in the production of these 6 consonant sounds, outgoing air is completely stopped there, and then it is released with the slight explosion. That's why they are called as plosives. These 6 consonant sounds are named p, b, t, d, k, and g. First of all, we will take into account the first pair. 3 pairs are there. The pairs are made on the basis of the similarities in the production of the sounds. The first pair is p and b. The whole diagram describes the position of different speech organs. Remember, look at this particular diagram. I will explain it. Here the vocal cords are invisible, but I would say that first sound of the pair is always voiceless. Remember, the first sound is always voiceless sound. Here 3 pairs are there: p, b, one, second, t, d, and third, k, g. Here I'm talking about the first pair, p and b. First of all, we will talk about p sound. P, in the production of p sound, vocal cords are not considerably vibrated. So it is voiceless air. Now the voiceless air, when it comes out of the larynx, now what is the position of the speech organs? In the production of p sound, the soft palate lies in raised position to set off the nasal cavity. When it is raised, the outgoing air can't escape out through the nasal cavity because it is blocked by rising soft palate. Okay, next, go ahead. This is the tongue which lies in the rest position. The tongue is not active at all. There is a gap between tongue and the roof of the mouth. I am showing here, remember. Now what happens? The voiceless air comes at the teeth, and before it escapes out of the mouth cavity, two lips come together. The outgoing air is stopped by two lips. Look at this particular diagram. Two lips are gathered together. The oral passage is blocked by two lips. And when two lips are closed, the air gathers just behind the lips. And after some time, when the two lips are separated, the gathered air escapes out with a slight explosion, and that particular explosion is nothing but the sound p. So the place of articulation p is at the lips, and when the sound is produced with the help of two lips, the place of articulation is named as bilabial. Bilabial. Bi means two. Lips means labial means lips. Bilabial. So the three-term label. The first is voiceless. Second, place of articulation is bilabial. And third, the manner of articulation. In which manner the air is released? It is released with the explosion. That's why it is called as plosive. So the three-term label of sound p is voiceless, bilabial. I have mentioned here bilabial, B-I-L-A-B-I-A-L, bilabial, and plosive. Voiceless, bilabial, plosive consonant sounds, p. Now the next one, b. Only one change we can notice here. In the production of b, vocal cords are considerably vibrated. Vocal cords are not separated. They come together, and when they come together, they vibrate. So we have a considerable vibration of the vocal cords here, and that's why b sound is voiced. Now looks at the position of the different speech organs in this particular diagram. The first we saw the position of vocal cords, they are vibrated, so the air is voiced. Again, soft palate remains in raised position to set off the nasal cavity. So the outgoing air has to escape out through the nasal cavity. Tongue lies in the rest position. There is a enough gap between the roof of the mouth and the tongue. Now the voiced air arrives at this particular point, and before it escapes out of the mouth cavity, again two lips come together. And when the two lips come together, closure is made, disturbance is made there, and the whole air gathers in this particular part. And when the two lips are separated, a narrow scapes is made between two lips, and through the narrow scapes made between two lips, a gathered air scapes out through a slight explosion. And that particular explosion is nothing the sound burr. Try to the pronounce sound burr. Two lips are used. So the three term label for burr is voiced, because vocal cords are vibrated, considerable vibration of the vocal cords is there. Voiced, place of articulation is bilabial, and manner of articulation is plosive. So the three term label is voiced, bilabial, plosive consonant sounds. So it is about the first pair. Now we will move toward the next pair of the plosive consonant sounds, t and d. Look at the diagram again. You have studied very well the speech organs, remember, because the sounds are produced with the help of the speech organs. So the diagram shows it very clear, the position of the different speech organs. Okay. As I mentioned you that the first sound of the next pair, that is t and d. I'm talking about t. As far as the vocal cords are concerned, as I mentioned, the first sound of the pair is always voiceless. Vocal cords are not considerably vibrated. So here the voiceless airs comes out of the larynx. Here we have vocal soft palate. Again, what is the position of the soft palate? Soft palate is raised. One more important thing that I would like to tell you, that in English we have 44 sounds. In the production of all 44 sounds except 3, 44 पैकी फक्त 3 ध्वनीच्या निर्मितीमध्येच सॉफ्ट पॅलेट हे लोअर पोझिशन मध्ये असतं, ज्याला आपण नेझल साऊंड्स म्हणतो, म, न and न. Only in the production of these 3 consonant sounds, soft palate remains in lower, elsewhere it remains in raised position. So again, in the production of t, vocal cords are not vibrated, soft palate is raised. So the air has to escape out through the mouth cavity. Now look at the diagram here. What kind of changes are there? In the first diagram, that there is enough gap between the tongue and the roof of the mouth, right? But look at the second diagram. What kind of change is there? That here the closure, the disturbance, the obstruction is made with the help of tongue and alveolar reach. Tip of the tongue is raised in the direction of alveolar reach. Alveolar reach means the part which lies just behind the upper teeth. So the closure is made with the help of the tip of the tongue and alveolar reach. The tip of the tongue, the beginning part of the tongue, is raised in the direction of alveolar reach. So the outgoing air is stopped with the help of tip of the tongue and alveolar reach. So the sound t is pronounced at the alveolar reach organ. That's why, as far as V is concerned, it is voiced. It is voiceless, and place of articulation is alveolar. Alveolar is because the sound is produced alveolar. Alveolar is the part which lies just behind the upper teeth. So it is called as alveolar. Now, after the closure is made there, and after some time, the gathered air which gathers behind this particular closure, when the tongue comes down, a narrow space is made, and through this particular narrow space, The gathered air escapes out with the explosion and the sound T is pronounced. Try to pronounce the sound T. You will notice that your tongue touches to the alveolar ridge. Now the next sound D. D, as far as the V is concerned, the second sound of the sound of the pair is always voiced because vocal cords are considerably vibrated. Again, only one change is there. First one, T is voiceless and D is voiced. So the voiced air comes out of the windpipe. It finds that soft palate is raised. The voiced air has to escape out through the mouth cavity, but before it comes out of the mouth, the flow of the air is stopped with tip of the tongue and alveolar ridge. And alveolar ridge is the place where the sound D is pronounced. And the manner of articulation is the same plosives. A slight explosion is there. So the three-term label for D, it is voiced, alveolar, plosive consonant sounds. T, it is voiceless, alveolar, plosive. D, it is voiced, alveolar, plosive. So it is about the second. Now look at the third diagram. Remember, the third pair of plosives, K and G. Remember, you have to, don't listen to me only. You have to pronounce the sounds while listening to me. Try to pronounce the sound K. 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 Your mouth is completely open. The beginning part of the tongue is in rest position in the lower position, right? So we will talk about first sound K. K and G. K is voiceless sound. Vocal cords are not vibrated here. So the voiceless air, when it comes out of the windpipe, it arrives here and it finds that vocal soft palate is raised. So the air can't escape through the nasal, through the nose. Remember, this is the nasal cavity, and the air can't escape through the nasal cavity because the soft palate is raised. Here, when the air is passing through the mouth cavity, what happens? The back part of the tongue, the back part, the last part of the tongue makes firm contact with the velar, with the soft palate. Remember, it is velar is the part which lies just before the uvula. Remember, the soft palate that we say. So the closure is made with the help of the back part of the tongue and velar. So the place of articulation is at the velar. So the K is voiceless. The place of articulation is velar. V-E-L-A-R. It is invisible. Remember, it is faint. So it is velar. Velar is the place of articulation for K sound. And when after some time, after some gap, the back part of the tongue comes down and the narrow space between back part of the tongue and velar is made, and through that particular narrow passage the gathered air escapes out with explosion and the sound K is pronounced. Okay, now the last sound, the plosive sound, is G. Only one change is there, that is G is voiced because vocal cords are vibrated here, and the vibrated air, when it arrives at this particular point, soft palate again is raised to set down, to set off the nasal cavity. Here the outgoing air is stopped, the obstruction is made with the disturbance in the flow of the air is made with back part of the tongue and velar. So the velar is the place of articulation. So K is voiceless, velar, plosive. G is voiced, velar, plosive consonant sounds. So we have described all the 6 consonant sounds uh, on the basis of 3 terms labels. I hope that you might have been understood it very well. In the next lecture, we will discuss the next group of the consonant sounds. Thank you. These are the 3 terms labels. Remember, again, you should have to read it very carefully. Thank you.